Hi guys, welcome to Organically Aunt. And today I am going to show you 3 different herbs in your backyard that you might be overlooking and thinking are weeds that are actually very good for you. We are going to be looking at stinging nettle, malva, and purslane. Sit tight, here we go. And always make sure anytime you are wildcrafting, the herbs that you pick are not sprayed with pesticides or in a contaminated area. Today we are going to be talking about wildcrafting in the city. Now I'm a little bit in the outer suburbs, but I am still very close to the city, and I found some wonderful herbs that can be used that I found right in my own backyard. First one I'm going to show you right now is the wonderful stinging nettle. Now I happen to transplant this because my landlord said to me, you know what, it's time to weed whack. So I don't spray anything in my area. It is totally pesticide free, and it's been setting this way for probably the past 4 years. Not with weeds, but with no pesticides. So I happened to come across this wonderful plant right here, the stinging nettle. And I was like, you know what, I am so not gonna weed whack this guy. I'm gonna transplant him until I can find a better location for him. When handling herbs like stinging nettle, you've gotta always be careful, because if you look on the leaves, they have these little needle-like hairs on them that when you touch them the wrong way, they'll give you a little sting. The older it gets, the stronger you feel it. When they're young, they're a little more tender. Now, why in the world would I want to use stinging nettle? Stinging nettle has so many wonderful attributes. So I'm going to take you on a little further journey to further understand stinging nettle and come to appreciate it. Be extra careful. If you want to harvest it, be sure to wear some heavy-duty gloves or just expect a little bit of a zap, you know? Yeah, I love this little plant. I can't wait to tell you all the wonderful attributes stinging nettle has.
Okay, Klaus, now we will cover the uses of stinging nettle. You can use the leaves, the roots, and the stem. It is wonderful. Okay, so let's take a look at all the wonderful things that stinging nettle helps with. When using stinging nettle, you can use the roots, the leaves, or the stems. You can make teas, you can make tinctures. It helps with allergies, BPH, which is benign prostatic hyperplasia, joint pains like arthritis, urinary issues, eczema, and much, much more. Always do your research. When using stinging nettle, there are precautions to be aware of. Let's go over those now. Precautions. Keep in mind it stings. If you're on any kind of medication or supplements, keep in mind stinging nettle enhances the effects. So for diabetes, blood thinners, diuretics, lithium, NSAIDs, and sedatives, be aware. If you're on the medication, it could make it work even more so, and you could need less, so it needs to be regulated. And last but not least, pregnancy. If you are pregnant, remember that the stinging nettle affects the menstrual cycle. It may cause a miscarriage. Be very, very cautious with that. And remember, this will be on the quiz. You know it will. Dr. Pihud, what do you think of stinging nettle? You like it, yes, you like it.
So I'm going to show you my little spot where I found all these stinging nettles. They happen to be near my orange tree, but I looked over the fence to where my landlord's grapefruit tree is, and there was a plethora of stinging nettle. I did happen to take some of those too. So let's go. I'm going to show you. Come on. I happened to find my stinging nettle right in the back part of my yard. Look right there, there's still more growing, but let's take a look over the fence and make sure I don't step on anybody. And what do you know? Bam! Right there by the grapefruit tree. Look at all that nettle. What? Stinging nettle happens to transplant really well. This guy I did probably about, I'd say 4 days ago, and she is just thriving. This one I transplanted from over near the grapefruit tree, and it's already looking good. It's bouncing back. I gave it some great organic potting soil, and I think it's going to do just fine. It's going to look like this in a matter of a day or two.
Now class, we are on to Malva sylvestris. So let's take a look and learn what a wonderful plant this is. The common mallow, or Malva sylvestris. Uses are the leaves and the stems. It's a demucilant, antitussive, anti-inflammatory, laxative, diuretic. It's great for use with the flu, asthma, diarrhea, gastritis, ulcers, etc. Take precaution if you are pregnant, if you are on any kind of medication, check this with your doctor. And hopefully your doctor is a little more health conscious.
Look at the pretty leaves. They end up getting little light purple flowers. What you can do with this is you can dry it out and use it as a decongestant. My grandmother used to harvest mallow. She'd dry it, and when we had congestion, she would make us a cup of tea, and it would help to pull out the mucus out of our bodies. Also, if we had a tummy ache, she'd use the mallow as well. The malva is actually growing in one of my raised beds from last year. I kind of let it go. Malva is a perennial. It also can sprout from seed as well, as you can well see, because last year this was full of tomatoes, and this year, well, here comes the malva, and I'm very thankful for it. Right here you can start to see the beginning of some of the flowers, and also down here, I'm going to show you right here, is what is called a cheese, which is one of their little seed pods, and people will actually eat that. Let's try it. Now here are the little cheeses, and let's see. They don't taste bad. Oh, has nutty flavor, kind of tastes like a sunflower. So it is an edible plant. It's a wonderful little plant.
I think I need to go find some more cheeses. Let's go.
I will find you. I will find you in here somewhere.
In case you're wondering what young malva looks like, here's a young malva plant. And here's an even younger malva plant. So I've dried up my malva. I'm going to crunch it up into a Ziploc baggie. Then I'll put it into a glass jar for storage and save it for tea. As you can see here, we've got the leaves. They're nice and dried out. All right, tea time. It's tea time, sir. It's tea time. I have my leaves in my Tivana tea steeper, and we're just waiting for the water to whistle. Tastes grassy, nutty. No, it doesn't taste nutty. It just tastes grassy. Yep, that's stuff my mom used to make. Good stuff.
Okay, class. I know my accent is very horrible. But here we go. The final herb of the day is going to be purslane. Let's take a look at all the wonderful benefits it has.
Purslane is a powerhouse plant. It has 7 times more beta carotene than carrots, 14 times more omega-3s than spinach, 6 times more vitamin E than spinach. It has omega-3s, antioxidants, phosphorus, calcium, magnesium, manganese, potassium, iron, beta-carotene, betaline, tryptophan, zinc, and selenium.
This goes on, and you can be sure that list will be on the quiz. Thank you for sitting tight, class. You've been wonderful today. Mwah!
Hi guys, right here we have purslane. As you can see, it's a succulent. This can be put into salads. It can be stir-fried, kind of like a green bean. It's wonderful in salads raw. It's full of vitamin C and vitamin A, magnesium, potassium. It is one of the highest in omega-3s, and it's one that is overlooked all the time. I will take the purslane and rinse it in some baking soda water. Just kind of loosen up any dirt. And then I will individually pick each one of these succulents off and throw them in a salad. You always want to make sure that when you're harvesting, you're not taking it from a contaminated area. I would not utilize herbs coming from a front walkway. I would not utilize herbs that are right in the midst of the poopy abyss. That's just me. But there are plenty of other areas that you can find these herbs and that are nice and safe. A quick little rinse and some baking soda. I know some people will use a little bit of vinegar just in case. My biggest thing that I would be concerned with is the pesticides. I would not utilize herbs that are in a gutter, or like I said, the poopy abyss. There you go. I've harvested the leaves, as you can see. They're going to be a great little addition to the salad. We're going to add them to a salad with some nice onions and this beautiful tomato. You can take a little piece of it, get a nice little root in an area that is uncontaminated. If you don't have any near your house, say your mom does or your friend does, and you can plant it and grow it at home. The thing with purslane, though, it does spread really easily. So it's a beautiful plant, though. It makes a great ground cover. But it does like to spread quite easily. So if you keep it contained in a pot and then you just add it to your salads, definitely worth having around. And I love that it's a little succulent, so it's got a neat little water content to it. The omega-3s in it are so good for us, good for our immune systems. Adds a nice little extra to a salad. Salad doesn't have to be boring, it can be an experience. So like I said, I'll take this and I'm going to add it to our salad with this beautiful heirloom tomato and this nice red onion. Thank you guys for sitting tight with me today on Organic Leanne. I hope you learned 3 wonderful herbs that you can find right in your own backyard and find wonderful nutritional value from. Plants are amazing. God made some awesome creations and I hope you enjoy them. They're easy to find. We talked about stinging nettle today, we talked about malva, and we also talked about purslane. If you enjoyed the content today, I would greatly appreciate it if you liked the video, if you subscribed, and left me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. If you have any ideas of some great recipes you'd like to see me do on Organic Leanne, or if you want me to do a review, let me know. Thank you again. I greatly appreciate you sitting tight with me today.